Namaste, myself Dr. Samya Boyanawat. I'm a chief consultant at Diabetes Reversal Clinic, Badi. I'm going here today to discuss on a topic, why can't diabetes be detected with basic symptoms? Generally the many patients who comes over here, they keep asking us, Doctor, I never had any symptoms at all. They never happen to go through any kind of alarming symptoms or neither or any pre-diabetic symptoms. But I just got a sudden onset and I went to a doctor and then I happened to diagnose as I'm diabetic. So many patients keep asking us whenever any particular disease comes to us, we generally happen to experience any changes in our body, then which starts expressing it as a complete disease. Whatever the patient are asking is a right question, but I won't say it's completely right. It's partially right. There are few diseases where your body starts giving you a hint about it, that you are developing a particular disease. And there are few diseases where you know that I'm doing this particular thing as a wrong. For example, there are people who work certain night shifts. So those people, there's no why I shouldn't be awake at night. Still, they have no other choice. That's their livelihood. So they would be working at late nights, and they know that they go to bed around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And those cases we have seen, we got many types of water diseases. So this is the second category of people. Like they know that they are doing something which is not right for the body, and they will not develop a particular disease which they might not be aware what kind of diseases. And the third thing comes, there are diseases where you will never get any heat from your body and you're going to just start, it's a sudden onset, what we say. It's like you just get up in the morning and yes, you are already with that. For example, the facial palsy, Ben's palsy is what we call it as, like face paralysis. So that happens like the sleep paralysis is what we say. They have slept nice and it come any stress also. There are people who have slept very good at night, that they went to a bed as usual, but when they got up in the morning, they'd happen to see the deviation of the mouth or eyebrows. That depends on the severity of the attack they have happened to get. So when it comes to specifically for diabetes, so there are patients who started asking us if they never experienced a symptom. So there is a possibility. Second thing is, most of the diabetic patients who I'm getting nowadays, they're all come to us with a very reports. It's like either of the people have got the report because they started with any other health issues. So with their weight out, depending on their age, maybe like they are 40 plus, and the doctor will ask you to get a routine diabetic checkup. So maybe a fasting blood sugar. If at all, if fasting comes on to be high, then they would have asked you to get an HbA1c. What we do that 3 months aggregate time. So the agitated hair moved. And so that would tell us like, how bad is your diabetes, your body is suffering from. And another category of people is like, these, especially I would say post-COVID, what I see is the people become very health conscious. So everybody started, at least in Bangalore or metro cities, I'm saying is like, they know that whatever they have been doing all these years is not the right way of living, or that's not the life style they should follow. So they started getting up early, they started cycling, they started going for the gym, or maybe walking, all these habits they have started, which is definitely admirable. But they are also health conscious in a way. They just want to clean their body. Some people does it every 3 months. Some people, who knows that they have already done few positive factors which would definitely lead them to that particular disease. They are very careful with that. So they keep doing that at every 3 months. There are other people who get their bodies fit every 6 months. There are other people like who gets it like yearly health checkup. So and we are very accessible. I must say, we never had this accessibility or decade back. That was a time like 12 to 30 years back when I started practicing the reversal concept. So that's the time I started seeing the patients who used to come to me with the symptoms. That's what is my topic today. Why can't diabetes be detected with the basic symptoms? I used to see the patients like that. But whomever I'm getting after the ticket, I would say, they all come to us with either of these week. They just went for had a screening or a medical or general checkup, what they see, health checkup, and they happen to diagnose us diabetes just with their values, but they never had symptoms. So I just gave you an overview what one category of disease or the people or the patient who suffer from that disease could exist. Now let's see why the symptoms are not presentable, or why the symptoms are not started, but their sugar levels or the blood investigations are showing that, or they are confirming that they have diabetes. Okay. The first thing is, what are the classical symptoms of diabetes? Is like hunger, urination, or they could be a try something else, or any kind of laziness, or let's say like you start feeling sleepy the daytime. So these are the few basic symptoms of feel lethargy or either fatigue, you can say. First of all, why there is no as such changes in appetite is not being a difference or a symptom of a major diabetes patients is nobody wait for the hunger. What we know is before we used to eat when we feel hungry. But nowadays, it's very clear. I train up my body in that way. Or maybe there are a few systematic people, eats like 8-1-8. That is still okay. There are people who eat in the morning, they have their breakfast only by 11 o'clock. After finishing of everything, especially the people who doesn't work, the housewife by with the ladies overfill that. They will finish off everything, the afternoon lunch, everything, and they have at 11 o'clock. So obviously, we must say hungry by 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock, that they have their meals around 4:30. Then the night dinner will go at 10 o'clock. So the week we started eating, we don't have a that system anymore. Like who will have their very good heavy breakfast at 8 o'clock, and people used to have it a week where the evening sunset at 8 o'clock. After that, if they one day used to have a bit or nothing. So that is how the lifestyle I was seeing it a decade back. But now what I see is, first of all, we don't know the difference between our hamburger, because wherever I get the kids like, 7 started, I would say 20 years college going kids. And when I asked them, how is your hamburger? They asked, of course, I eat offline. This is a very answer what I keep getting from my patients. Just, doctor, I just have it all the time. So you don't even know what is a difference between hunger and excessive hunger and a gastric issues. So there are people who is not even able to make a difference between that at all. So that is where your symptom might that come already. The excessive hunger or nighttime hungers, craving for the carbohydrates would have it already come. But what are you doing is you have already feeding your body what that your body is craving for. So your symptom is be suppressed. Second, let's say like if you speak about the urination, yes, before it used to be that way, like frequent urination or night urination. But that's not, we won't to see that in many patients nowadays. If you know, like, there are people who go to the urination, they have made an habit, was like, they move by, I don't know about it, and when they feel the gadgets, by the time they move it out, what would you want of it, then they use the washroom and go. So maybe, yes, the night urination would have been also suppressed. So what I'm trying to say is your body still has that stage, what we found in Ayurveda is pre-symptoms or before the rollback. So before the rollback, the symptoms get exhibited. Then is a stage by pre-diabetes or before the rollback, where you should definitely have any particular symptoms. The patients cannot skip that stage. They would have undergone that stage, but the problem is I'm not able to appreciate that particular symptom or the signal what my body is trying to tell me that I'm going through this diabetes, that they're not able to appreciate. The coming to the second point, what I have to say, like how your symptoms could be suppressed. For example, if you start feeling fatigue or lethargic, before you feel that, you should know what is the maximum energy a particular person has throughout his life. See, you always overpressure your body, especially nowadays. I see the kids like maybe 10 or 12 started. They say they start at 6 o'clock in the morning. They go to the some activities. I mean, they go to the school bus for about like 6:37 they get it, but they get off only by 9 o'clock. And meanwhile, they be using some dances. And if once this movie gets over, then they have so many classes. They see the festivals, like work, music class, make tries, and go artist. See, basically, 24 hours, you're not at all taking in a particular hour for anything which makes you feel relaxed. You are running every habit or every extracurricular activity as a part of your life. So you start utilizing all, you start spending your maximum energy from the day one. That's how we are being trained. So how will you even know the difference between touching? Maybe what you did this, as you start easing, you will be able to do. Then you will start thinking like it is because your age. So you will even know why you feel lethargy. Then the next uh, point that I have to say about why we won't be able to detect all the basis of symptoms. The people are, as I said, I was speaking earlier about this, being health conscious. They also start eating a lot of vital supplements. Let's say like they keep taking vitamin B12, but every 3 months or every 6 months they keep repeating that, we're having the vitamin D. They take it weekly once. So when you start taking particular supplements, your body will acid free the lethargic. You will get the supplements which starts pushing your energy levels. That is also worth taking. Because when I ask them, am I be diagnosed with any other health issues? They say absolutely no, doctor. But I take this for iron, I take this for vitamin B, I take this for vitamin D. And they have so many supplements and they have so much of access to it. So they have access for your content. So they just take everything, whatever is possible, and they can purchase online. And they also feel like when it is labeled as, organic or active ingredient of that particular Ayurveda drug, they feel like, it's as in an Ayurveda, so there is more side effects. I would say, just don't know that. They are well. See, let's say like whatever the vitamins you're getting from green leafy vegetables, that was more than enough. Why do you want to have it at a fish oil? See, anything you just captured and processed inside the lava, just put inside a capsule and they're giving it to you. It's always processed. So it cannot even see whatever the supplements your body would get it through the food would never come to you with the form of these. So if you are healthy, if your energy levels are good, then never jump into that have an unnecessary supplements. So that is also one which masks the major symptoms or which will make you feel that because skip that. But if you don't feel that at a big stage to understand that. So when I start suppressing all these things, that is where the actually symptoms starts expressing. Yeah, I have already skipped all these things, or I have been suppressed, or I have been masking all these things, or I couldn't observe this. So we review it, it just losses. Everything has its own saturation point. So when your body can't take it anymore, then it starts wasting. Forget about the people who gets detected. I already have person who's diagnosed with symptoms or without symptoms, without anything it works. Then when I tell them, coming to the one more point I have to add it on, is that we convert it as classical symptoms, but what I get is the people are able to observe the what we used to say diabetic complications, especially the diabetic neuropathy. They come to us immediately with the burning sensation of the feet and the palms or the numbness. This is before very common symptoms. Maybe in an in another decade, the symptom will be added as a diabetic classic symptom. Instead of that was a diabetic with your complications. You have to understand you've already crossed the stage of diabetes, and you've entered the complication stage. But you are trying to feel that only that itself is my symptom. The people who are already on the right treatment would also say that, no, I just started with that. There's absolutely nothing else. And then are people who say things like, I don't get sprayed. I see a protein page or something. That is because I was more cross gadget. I use my laptop more. So the first thing with especially on Indian patients, what I say is, they never want to accept they have been already diagnosed. You are diagnosed or not with diabetes. The first thing is you don't want to acknowledge that you have a diabetes. Unless you don't accept that particular this is your suffering from, then no, he will be open to the when they accept a problem, then they will be open to the solution. It's not the solution as only okay, take it after I got diagnosed, but and I'm talking about the attitude of the diabetes patients. I have another video where I was how the patients really get themselves into a trouble just with their ignorance. I will not as an ignorance. I will as an arrogance about it, because who does want to accept that I have a disease? So if I have to talk in that way, see, that's where the options opens up. Like when you, let's say, infertility cases, they go with the assisted, then IUI, then IVF. There are stages to go. Depending on, you have to be open and acknowledge what is going through your body, what your body is really going through, and what it needs at that particular stage. So you have to understand, if you have to know your body in the right way, you should stop manipulating yourself. Stop manipulating it, then analyze yourself. And when your doctor says, just try to know that how severe it is, and you can also explain back to your doctor, doctor, this was started from so and so many funds, so and so many days. Then your doctor will also be able to understand the positive factor for that, and he will be able to treat you more better and more faster, and you will be able to make a decision which medication is really required for you. So instead, for example, you will make your own decision that you use more of gadgets, so your eye is straight, so you'll get the fatigue pain. Okay, you functionally, and you will be diagnosed with diabetes, and say, so what if your eyes has been affected, or your valves of your eye has been affected because of your diabetes? Maybe, I don't know, people would have already been suffering from it, turns out. Here or so. That's where then continue over doctor. I have been using the laptop since a year very stressfully. I've been spending my time at least at 12 hours on the laptop. See, might we are not saying till the time your body is able to accommodate and accommodate whatever you say, it's one of it. But if your body is already sure about it, is out of that particular way, and we're just not accepting mentally that it is why respect for a body to cope up with your mind. I always say, what is the definition of health? When according to WHO, it is a healthy status. Mind and the body both should be in a healthy state. Then only you are healthy. So it is not that we should be. It is not something I'm physically not diseased, but mentally really. Then also you are suffering from a particular disease. So as a manubana, your manas always makes a maximum contribution for any of the physical diseases you suffer from. One of them is diabetes. While we're talking about your manas involvement in it, is many Indians being bad. And they would be very happy when they come to us, when we check their sugar levels, when we do our awareness programs. They'd be like, oh, I felt that 120. How did you go 140? We both have been called dinner yesterday night together. Well, try what mine is controlled. No, you don't need to kind of launch, because the 20 minutes, whatever you are happy to be, doesn't mean what is at the point. I mean, what is happening inside your body, we don't know how much your organ is being already degenerating. So don't just merely afford the blood sugar values and decide you are not really into a severe status of diabetes. No, it is the symptoms which tells you very clearly, provided a person, a patient is ready to acknowledge and understand what he is suffering from. So, the solving topic, why can't diabetes be detected on the basis of symptoms? Yes, it is possible to detect on the basis of symptoms, provided a patient is ready to acknowledge, observe, and identify the symptoms properly. Then yes, then there are many patients who will be they just said them on something else and we confirmed them that test also done, and it is just around maybe their HbA1c is 7%, but their FPST PPS is at 0.2. So that is where we go wrong. So I have just gotten my fasting and I can see my A1C levels. But she has already started with the particular symptoms. That it is more easy for us also if you tell us the proper symptoms, then I can detect you in the early stages and the reversal or the management treatment would be addressed accordingly. So there are many other topics which I'll be coming up with in other videos. I mean, how the diagnostics has to be interpreted, or only the symptoms can be taken into consideration when we diagnose a particular disease. Thank you.